thank you very much, Kevin, and thanks everyone for being here this afternoon. This is an important announcement that we have to make today. And you know, when you have an important announcement like this, you take a minute to think about, okay, so what's been the process? How did we get to this point? And I remember that when I came to the campus as a candidate to be president in the spring of 2004, one of the questions that I was asked was, so what do you think about us going to Division I? And my response at the time was, that seems like a reasonable aspiration given the excellence of the department in Division II. So when I came back a few months later as president, I got the question, so what do you think about us going to Division I? And in this time, I said the same thing. It was a reasonable aspiration. But I also said, and we're going to take this year to determine whether or not that makes sense for us. And so we did that. This would have been in 2004-05. And in the spring of 2005, in anticipation that we might make this decision, our students had a very significant fee referendum led by then student body president Dan Januchis. And that referendum passed. And part of that referendum provided support for the move of our athletics program to Division I. And we made the commitment to the students that if we did not make the move, we would actually give them their money back. Fortunately, they passed the referendum, we moved forward, and in fact, in June of 2006, we made the decision to move to Division I. Now, that decision doesn't mean it's all done. What it means is that there would then be a time when we needed to go through quite a number of processes outlined by the NCAA. Rudy would probably describe them as hoops and hurdles. And in fact, it included that. We had to have, in each of those 4 years, a strategic plan update, an annual report, and we also went through an NCAA certification self-study, which is something that is done by all Division I teams, generally every 10 years or so. But they decided to include that for us in this reclassification process. And for us, we've been timely with everything that we've sent to the NCAA. Our staff has done an incredible job throughout in getting these various reports, attending the meetings, paying attention to all of these requirements. And in fact, the last set of documents that we needed to send to the NCAA were due on June 1st of this year. We submitted those documents very timely, and then it's a matter of, okay, when will the various committees that have to do with this have their meetings, make their recommendations, and make decisions. All of that having been done, I'm very pleased to tell you that we have been notified by the NCAA that CSU Bakersfield has met all of the requirements for full Division I status, and we now become an active Division I member effective September 1, 2010. Obviously, that is a very, very significant milestone for us because it's exactly what we've been working toward. You're going to hear from Rudy Carvajal in just a second, and certainly there will be opportunities to talk to coaches. But among the factors that are important here is that while we were in this reclassification process, we were no longer eligible to compete for Division II championships. We were not eligible to compete for Division I championships. And so in some ways, our teams have been in limbo. But now, effective September 1, all of our teams will be eligible for postseason play in Division I. And that's very, very significant as well because coaches will tell you that as they've talked with potential recruits, they want to know about postseason. And when you have to explain, well, we're in this transitional process, et cetera, it becomes a little bit too complicated for some students. And so we're there. there are a lot of people that we want to say thank you to. Many of you are here in the room, and I want to say thank you collectively to each of you, because you have made an important difference in the university's progress, not just the athletics department's progress, but the university's progress as we continue to further develop the university. There are a number of people who couldn't be here today, but with whom I've had conversations over the last several days, some of them in the last few minutes, as Jeff King knows. I wanted to take the opportunity to let them know about this since they couldn't be here and to thank them. Those people include Mayor Harvey Hall, who was an advocate from the very beginning, Congressman Kevin McCarthy, another very strong advocate. I talked to him just a few minutes ago. Former Congressman Bill Thomas was important in this process. Bruce Freeman from Castle and Cook introduced us and facilitated and asked that we made to Mr. David Murdoch, the owner of Castle and Cook. Mr. Murdoch provided a gift of $1 million and helped us raise, co-chairing that effort with Congressman Bill Thomas, an additional $1 million that led to the achievement of the $6 million Division I campaign that's been so important to us. Also want to thank all of the CSUB students and student athletes, because it was that vote that allowed us to say to our community, you've been asking if we can go to Division I. Our students have said they want to do this. They have voted to provide funding for this, and now we're coming to the community for your support, and the community support was there as well. Central in all of this, obviously, has been our staff in the athletics department. Rudy Carvajal, our athletics director, for our total history, is someone who has led this effort. Our faculty athletics representative, Dr. Jacqueline Kegley, also central to this. Dr. Gloria Friedman, the senior associate AD, has been a big part of this. Our provost, Dr. Surya Kohli, led the NCAA self-study team, and we can go on and on. All of the coaches who are here and others who can't be here today, all the student athletes, your work has all made this possible. Because while we were going through the technical processes of the reclassification, there was always an annual look at the performance of our student athletes. How are they doing? What are the APRs? What kind of progress is being made? And as I said, it was very clear that we met every benchmark because of the very hard work of staff all over the university, including the staff in athletics. So we were excited about that, quite rightly. We appreciate so much all the contributions that you have made to that. And before we take questions, it's my pleasure to introduce our athletics director, Rudy Carvajal.